Please. 313 dispatch.
313.
24, 14, 34, impound 1 for that.
They can respond to an average of about 50 calls a day. The animals are really malnourished and skinny.
Our call volume is insane.
We see cases of pets who have been mistreated every single day.
Because the animals are being mistreated. They're kept in disgusting cages and only basically kept alive to breed.
You can come in here and volunteer because we desperately need
Clean water, food, and shelter. And yet many people in the community don't even provide those for their animals. I've always loved animals ever since my parents brought me home from the hospital when I was born. I had a kitten in my crib that slept with me every night and a golden retriever that was under my crib. And I was raised with animals, so I definitely have a passion for animals. And I just really loved it. And as soon as I turned 18, I worked and signed up to be in adoptions. I got a job here as an adoptions counselor and helped match people with the right pets. And I've been here for 11 years now, and I just love this organization. It's grown and changed so much, and we do so much for the homeless animals in the community.
I became familiar with the Humane Society because of the television show they have on Saturday mornings called Pets on Parade. So I just would turn it on every Saturday morning, I'd watch it, and I thought, oh, that's kind of a cool thing to be doing. I had, for some reason, I just never dawned on me that you could actually volunteer.
All beat up.
You can see he's just been mauled, huh?
But he's a sweet boy.
And so I decided to look it up, and I called and left my name and number, and they said, you know, we'll call you back for an orientation, and I went in, and that was 16 years ago, so I've been doing it ever since.
It's really sad what we see coming into the shelter, these pets who have been hit by cars, or so many animals coming in, and especially during these spring and summer months, not having enough foster homes for all of these pets. People who are willing to come in and take an animal and provide them with temporary care, and whether they have a wound or they have a broken leg or they're a litter of puppies and kittens that need some time to grow. Really, we can never have enough foster families to help us.
Volunteering is absolutely essential. We definitely need volunteers because this is a nonprofit. They only receive money through private donations. There's no government assistance of any kind. So the organization is on a kind of a shoestring budget to begin with. So they have 200 and some staff members, and that's not near enough. They need lots and lots and lots of volunteers.
If you're in college and you live in the dorm, it's kind of a good way to love without having to
have a responsibility.
Have a responsibility. Yeah, you can come in here, you can play with puppies and kittens, and then you can go on with your life. Yeah.
I adopted June, a puppy mill survivor, 5 years ago, before I even knew exactly what a puppy mill was. June came into rescue with a mouthful of rotten teeth that all had to be pulled. Her lower jaw was receded from bone rot, and she now has to be fed by hand in order to eat. She also had severe ear infection that took a month to clear up and yellowed fur. It was obvious that she had never stepped foot on solid ground and had never been in open space. She had never spent time in the sun. She was, in fact, pulled from a cage in a USDA-licensed breeding facility exactly 5 years ago. Tuesday was her anniversary. As we worked to rehabilitate her, we discovered that her permanently crouched feet caused herniated discs throughout her spine. This is from standing on a caged ground her whole life. I cried when I thought about how she had to give birth to puppies in that condition. I was so mad, and I tried to find a news article or a police report about the breeders who did this to her. That's when I found out that it's perfectly legal to treat a dog like this.
There's a great demand for puppies, first of all, so there's a lot of money to be made in that field. So that's basically why they exist. They're gigantic, big money-making, profitable organizations. And they take typically purebred animals, and their existence is around being bred. So they don't have much of a life themselves, first of all. So you've got small or large, whatever, purebred animals whose day in, day out existence is to produce puppies.
We absolutely don't agree with them. We will bust them if the animals are being mistreated and we come across one. We don't see them very often at all, almost zero. But we do see a lot of hoarders, and I guess some of them could be considered puppy mills. It depends, because they'll have all purebred poodles. But yeah, we're totally against it. Any breeding of any kind of cats or dogs, we're really pretty good and against it. But a lot of these puppy mills, the reason they call it a puppy mill is because the animals are being mistreated. They're kept in disgusting cages and only basically kept alive to breed. Puppies are taken care of, cleaned up, and sold on the market, but the parents they don't care about. So some of the parents fractured legs, mange, deformities because of inbreeding. As long as the puppies look good, though, those puppies get to hit the pet stores. So those are pretty safe.
Mr. Granville, I think that you misunderstood me.
Okay, try again.
I'm asking you that since you asked for a standard, that I asked for you to represent and be a champion of Arizona dogs and set a standard that our state stays contained. Because if
I understand your question now. I can only regulate Tempe. I can't regulate Arizona. And given the state of Arizona, I wouldn't hold my breath.
This is going to seem odd. While I have sympathy for the dogs, like that's a big deal. But it's also a question of how we view ourselves as people, right? Like, are we a society that thinks that things that are alive should be treated with some level of dignity and respect? Whether that's dogs or meat or whatever, right? And so if we think that things should be treated with a level of dignity or respect, then clearly a puppy mill where a dog has never walked on the grass, has been artificially inseminated more times than it should, in 1 year and repeatedly, that's, like, that's not what we want. That's not what is reflective of, I would say, like, our values as a culture.
Been totally neglected, not necessarily being some purpose type of cruelty, just the ones that are put in the backyard and not paid any attention to. And the reason why that bothers me the most is I think if you know anything about dogs, they are super social animals, they're pack animals, and that's probably about the most severe form of cruelty to them, is to throw them in the backyard with absolutely no interaction with anybody or anything. That's just devastating to them. That really is, it's mental cruelty, and that's not them at all. And we see so much of that. We see so many people who have a dog for whatever, I don't know what the reason is they have it. I guess for maybe protection. They think we'll have a dog in the yard and nobody will bother us. But it's not a member of the family. It never comes in the house. It's left out in the elements. Arizona's extremely severe summers, and we've seen dogs, I mentioned dogs that have battery acid poured on them, and it's really devastating. It looks like their hair is all gone, and their fur, their skin now, there's no more fur, is like leather. A dog that has sunburn looks exactly the same way. And we see so many cases of dogs with sunburn to that degree to where their hair is all burned off.
This is the dog adoption kennel, our doggy dens, where all of our adoptable dogs are waiting for their new families. And this is where all the magic happens, where all of the love connections are made. Here. Hi! This little pup came to us as a stray. We found him by Metro Center Mall, and he, as you can see, has some hair loss on his little head there. That's a case of mange, so a skin mite, mostly resulting probably because of poor nutrition, living in dirty conditions. So they just need a couple of baths, a couple times a week, and then medication and about a month of treatment, and he'll be fluffy and fur of ready for his forever home. Ah. Hi, Bodie. This here is Bodie. He's a Shih Tzu, and he actually came to the Arizona Humane Society as a stray and had suffered some sort of head trauma, and both of his eyes were prolapsed, meaning they were hanging out of the socket. So they were both badly damaged. We had to put him under for surgery and remove both of his eyes. He's healing very well, and we're helping him to adjust to life as a blind dog, which he's doing remarkably well. And hopefully we can find the right home for him very soon. I hear you. Special puppy.
Yeah, we're.
Just because he's blind doesn't make him, any less capable of loving. He's, blind. We see deaf dogs, deaf cats coming in. They're so resilient, and they still have a whole heart full of love. Huh, Bodie?
He just looks scary. I was in here just petting him, and I just
Maybe she stands on her front legs and does it. As close to an average as I can get, because no single day that we ever drive is ever the same. They're always completely different. But we're emergency animal medical technicians, so basically we're the exact equivalent of a human ambulance driver, but for animals. So we keep medical bags. We've got human medical bag filled with animal supplies, but most of those supplies are pretty universal, so catheters, things like that, fluids. We do any kind of rescue. If there's something stuck somewhere on a roof or in a tree or in a wash or a drain or you name it, I think we've been everywhere.
No, way down there. You actually keep this carrier if you want for a donation or whatever, but this leg is...
Also, he's probably not one we want to try to transport. Huh?
No, he's very skittish and likes to run.
So, okay, yeah, I'll get him back to the truck. Is this sturdy?
Oh, it's sturdy. It's held him for a while.
Okay, perfect. So I'll get him back in.
All right, thank you very much.
Problem is when they're like this, you can't do anything to them. You can't touch him. If you try to touch him, he's going to rip you open. Certainly not make it sound that bad when we did the call. Remember, she was like, yeah, no, it's not critical. Take your time. There's basic laws, and dogs are required the bare minimum, which is food, water, shelter, water and shelter mainly. So as long as, if anybody calls us and says there's a dog in this backyard without any water, that's something we go out to. If there's a dog without shelter, we go out to it. And now Arizona's passed some new laws. They're the tether laws. So if it's under 100 degrees, dogs have to be on at least a 10-foot tie out. Any shorter, and then we can enforce it. And over 100 degrees, it's illegal to tie your dog outside. Now, that just started last July, so yeah, that kind of added to the payload. So we run a ton of calls, but this year alone, we've been running 50 more calls a week than ever before, so our call volume went way up. Uh-oh. Go ahead. That's me.
313 with you for a moment, and you're able to update your computer. I did drop new traffic on your roof.
10-4, is it urgent? Because I'm about a mile from the Union Hills, but I can flip around or go someplace else.
That is a negative. 313 is not urgent. We have a 44 is contained.
10-4, okay, I'll grab this one up here and head straight over. Okay, guys. This is our place, guys.
Hi.
Can I help you?
Yeah, there's a black cat, and it's got, the eyes are infected, and it just like diarrhea's everywhere. Can you, do you guys do that? Can you take it to a vet and then...
Where is it?
It's in this complex.
Yeah, like I said, if we see the black cat and I'm able to get my hands on him, then of course we'll help him. Definitely run into very interesting people too.
24 and 10, 1 at 14, 19, 19,
Is that the one?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, they're not going to put it down. They're going to take care of it. But as far as the I don't know if it's a he or a she, if that's her cat or kitten. I don't think it's going to run. I think it's
The last call,
no,
the cat's face was deformed and back legs didn't really work, but somehow they get that last burst when they feel like they're in danger, and he disappeared. I know, that's why I'm gonna have to separate them once I do that. The black and white one's healthy though?
Yeah, it's like oh, got both.
But the black and white one's healthy, right?
Yeah, it's got 2 kids.
The black and white one does?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get this blow black one. It's usually, here, let me tighten this. Here, wait, back up.
I can hold the black one down, but I don't think it's going right. There we go.
No. Okay, this is.
Scared the shit out of that one.
Yeah, that one, she's, hope she comes back.
Oh, it'll come back.
That's mom. But the kittens are healthy? There, they're fine. Look at his nose too. Look how severe that knees are. Yeah, he's not happy. He's
So this little area right here, you can see the sign on the door. It says Pet Resource Center. We'll give them resources where they can go. There's actually food shelters, like like a People's Food makes St. Mary's Food Bank. There's similar things for animals where you can get very low-cost food or free food. So we'll give them those kind of resources. If they're saying, my dog has a medical condition and I can't afford it, we'll try to find you. In fact, including us, we'll say, what's the problem? Let's bring it in and we'll take a look at it. We'll give you an estimate of what we think it would take to fix the animal. So we're trying to keep animals in homes. Rather than getting turned into us for all kinds of reasons, we're trying to keep them in their home. So now it's called managed intake. So it's dropped the intake numbers dramatically. So now it's not 120 days. Now we're down to like 18,000 a year, so it's far, far, far different. It's probably a 30-day now as opposed to what it was. So the process is pretty simple, the adoption process.
Don't sneak away. Oh, oh, oh.
I brought you
Yeah.
stuff.
But you're coming home. And I
settling
saved
down.
you from 3 other families that tried to take you home.
One sheet of piece of paper that you fill out with basic information on it. And we tell people the medical history of the animal and the circumstances under why he's here. And then they go home the same day that they come in to get him. So it's a pretty quick process. They've spent quite a bit of time with him now, and we allow people to spend as much time as they want with the animal. And so they've been kind of asking questions, and he's actually also has a medical release, so we had to go over his medical information with them. He was an owner surrender because he had a medical condition that they couldn't afford to fix. So that's why he came in. That's why he's here now. He's all fixed up, and he's actually been here since February. So for a puppy, you don't usually see puppies. I just need to see your driver's license. Thank you. We usually don't see puppies last that long here. So he probably had some really bad gastrointestinal problems, and he probably was like pressing and straining to go to the bathroom. And that's probably contributed to that problem. So he came in here, and we thought, it might just kind of fix itself with time and stuff like that, but it kept actually happening, and I think it happened around 5 times. And we finally did a surgery on him where we took the colon and stapled it to the side of the intestine so that it gave it more stability. And then they watched him for a while and watched him put him on monitoring for several weeks, and he looked to be healed.
The lactulose he's on, One thing we can do if we do adopt him today, I can call Sunny Slope.
Okay.
And so that's a little bit up north, and that's where we get our meds from. You can always pick it up. I can tell them that you adopted him, you're just picking up meds, and they would go over the meds there. That's to help him go to the bathroom, make it a little bit easier.
Little Bilbo Baggins, little hillbilly.
Things can get touchy.
Nope.
Kids and pets, introducing dogs to dogs, dogs to
How is
cats.
he with children? Has he been around any?
Oh, he's gonna be fine.
We don't have any.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hey, excuse me, you're ruining all your papers.
Okay, so we kind of went over this medical, but it's so doggone long.
So you can initial here and here and sign and date here and here. Bottom. Baggins, the man, the legend.
My boyfriend's family has French Mastiffs, and so his dad actually has a puppy right now that he was gonna breed. But my friend sent me his little face, and it's exactly what we want, and he needs a home. So in a few months, he could have a friend. There's so many dogs out there that already need a home. So why not? Thank you.
You guys ready?
Okay, bye-bye. We're going
You can either come out with us if you want to. We're going next car.
Baby. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this. How many times I've walked into a shelter and left the puppy? We're going home. Now when you come with Alyssa. Say bye. Thank you. Okay, let's go. Okay. Where did they put the car? Over there.
I mean, it's really sad what we see coming into the shelter, these pets who have been hit by cars or are just in really bad shape. And it's hard, but at the same time, you get to see them make that recovery, get so many people that just volunteers that just love on them and give them extra care that they need. And then the best part is just, seeing them go out the door to adopt, out of the adoption lobby door and into their, owner's car and finding that forever family. And it's just why we do what we do.
Baggins.
Yeah. Very precious. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Oh my god, stop blinking. Do you hear him?
We're the Hyundai right here, the Dover Gray.
For every lifestyle, so whether you're a couch potato or you like hiking every weekend and camping, we're bound to have the perfect pet for you at the shelter, and there's always at any given time dozens that need a home.
Oh, it's hot in here for you.
Thank you.